Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Couch of the Dead. Today we got a great show for you because we went on a hiking expedition to Sawtooth Mountain. We didn't see Bigfoot. All we saw was this crappy podcast.
Hi, I'm Vanessa.
And I'm Matt.
We are two die-hard horror movie fans who want to share our love of spooky cinema with you.
So please, if you dare, join us on the Couch of the Dead.
And we are back.
I just let you have that one.
Oh, isn't he sweet?
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
I am.
Hey, I am going to jump on this right away. What is the creepy cocktail of the day? I'm a little giddy today.
I don't know why, because we're doing this podcast on a night that's not our normal night. So I'm drinking Arizona hard iced tea, peach flavor, because I'm going for refreshing instead of blackout drunk. And I just took a sip of this stuff and I'm like, it just tastes like regular iced tea. But then again, I'm used to like moonshine and stuff that singes my eyebrows. But it's pretty good. It's refreshing. Very good. Refreshing. I would recommend it, you know.
Good. I'm also going light. I am drinking High Noon. And my flavor of the night is watermelon. And it is crazy storming outside right now. So
yeah,
we might lose power.
We were just about ready to go when our power went out. Came right back on, but it does this where we live all the time.
Yeah.
A raindrop comes down and the power flickers on and off. But so we'll be a little more coherent for this one. You won't have to try and guess what we're saying by the end of the podcast. But like the intro says, we took a journey to Tubi and we saw Sawtooth Mountain. Gotta say,
first impressions?
Well,
already?
I saw some other people like on Instagram or TikTok. I don't know the difference. Talking about this movie, saying it was actually really good. It was really something new and different. So we were like, let's try it out.
Yeah. So we decided on this one. This one's on him. Let's go on to first impressions. What was your first impressions?
My first impression of Sawtooth Mountain was that it didn't have me at the start. I was like, oh man, this movie's gonna suck and I'm gonna have to sit through it because that's what we do. But it actually got stronger. It was actually pretty original. Considering how low budget it appeared to be, it was surprisingly well acted and very entertaining.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would have to agree. At some point at the beginning, well, let's I'll tell you my first impressions of Sawtooth Mountain.
She's gonna have to say that really slow all night.
Yeah, I thought it was fun. Kept my interest throughout. As opposed to you, I thought at some point that you were just gonna I
was close.
Yeah, and I'm like, I hope we give this one a little bit longer chance. But glad we stayed. I thought it was entertaining and it had a lot of real feel to it. So that made it enjoyable. It was fun. I definitely recommend. So before we get into the details of this movie, if you're watching us on YouTube, thank you. Please hit that like and subscribe button so that we can continue creating content like this. We are over 100 subscribers. Woohoo!
Baby steps.
Yes. Little by little. And we also you can listen to us on any platform where you listen to podcasts. However, Spotify also gets the video so you can see our pretty faces. But
yeah, don't let our beauty distract you from our content.
Yeah. And also, we are very active on our socials. We try to comment and talk to you guys. Anything about horror and no politics allowed.
So Sawtooth Mountain, basically the summary of it would be 3 college kids.
Hey, college kids.
Yeah, they book a rental cabin out in the woods because
like an Airbnb.
they want to go on a Bigfoot tour, and they are hoping to see Bigfoot. And there's a lot of ensuing wackiness that ensues.
Wackiness ensues?
Wackiness totally ensues.
Oh my goodness.
So I guess we're going to sit here and we're going to go through this movie for you. We're going to tell you a little bit about it because this bitch is about to be spoiled. So
who directed this? And
Sawtooth Mountain is directed by, I'm not wearing my glasses.
Oh, and it's pretty dark in here.
Yeah. Matt Kinsess, I think that's how you pronounce his name. And it stars Sydney Scotia as Kira, Gabriel Carter as Clint, Jude Wilson as Dylan, Maitreya Scar...
Oh, God.
No, I believe her name is Scarwinner, but I keep wanting to call her Scarwiener.
Ooh.
So that's what I'm going to call her. She's Scarwiener. As Liv, and then Landon Laborion as Bobby. I think I pronounced them right. Nobody has normal names anymore.
No.
So,
no. So I did see that this movie, obviously, it's it's low budget, as we mentioned. It's an independent film, and I believe they did some sort of crowdfunding for it. I could be wrong, but I thought I read something about that. So yeah, everything, in my opinion, was very well done considering it was a low budget. So with that being said, let's get right into it.
So we open with, a lot of movies are doing this lately too, I've noticed.
Yes.
It's kind of like a callback, something that's obviously happening later in the movie. And so
they give you like a quick shot.
We see this blonde girl, and we find out later it's Kira, and she is ripping duct tape off her mouth, and she just screams, "Run!"
And runs out of the
she
cabin.
bolts out of the cabin and grabs an axe and just goes running to the woods.
Mm-hmm.
And so after this, now we kind of flash to what we think is the current day,
Mm-hmm.
and we see some smarmy looking dude, and he's sitting out in his porch and he's reading a review about this tour, this Bigfoot tour. And there's this famous influencer, and she's giving it like a really bad review, and he's not too happy about it.
I think we cut then later to him, the same guy at the bank. By the way, this guy, yes.
No, go ahead.
This guy, the guy who's reading the review, he is a big actor. He's been in a lot of things. I immediately had to look it up, but he was in the Hemlock Grove TV series by Eli Roth, and the brother was also in a lot of. So these are not like B movie actors. These are big actors. The kids, the college kids, I do not recognize them. But anyway, we do.
Oh, I'll have something to say about that later.
What was the name of this guy? Bobby.
Bobby.
So we see Bobby getting denied a loan at a bank, and he's not very happy. He tried to throw in some extras to the loan officer, but the loan saying, "Oh, you can stay at my Bigfoot themed cabin." And
yeah, well, the loan officer's telling him, like, you don't meet any of the criteria to get a loan, and he's like, well, I'll give you a free Bigfoot tour.
Yeah, and I'm like, no, you don't do that. But anyway, so now we are these 3 kids, college kids, and they are on their way to this Bigfoot theme cabin in the woods.
So the first thing I said when these kids pulled in is it It's two girls. It's Liv and it's Kira, and it is their friend Dylan. And Kira, our main actress, is blonde. And the first thing I looked at, I was like, is this supposed to be like Timu Sydney Sweeney?
And it's funny because her first name is Sydney in real life.
Yeah. But you mentioned, see, we're big fans of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, if you can't guess from all the references I make throughout a podcast. But she looked, like you said, like Sydney Sweeney and Dee Reynolds maybe had some kind of gay love child. Because, well, they're both women. It would have to be.
Or maybe it's like a mashup of them.
Yeah. So she kind of gave both vibes.
Yeah.
And I gotta be honest, when this movie first started, when they first started talking, I was like, oh man. And you could, like, I missed a couple things. We had to rewind it because I'm just like, oh,
and I'm like, weren't you paying attention?
I am not into this. This is, oh my God.
Yeah. So they start like typical college kids. No offense to college kids. We love college kids. My daughter is still in college and I am surrounded by college kids all the time. But there was just something about them that just didn't feel very genuine at first.
Probably because they were 30.
Yeah, they didn't look.
That's always the way it
early
happens,
20s,
though.
But yeah, but it was maybe a lot of pretending and just didn't feel very genuine at first.
Yeah,
but
I don't know if they had to warm up.
yeah, and then you're more okay. They're getting better at this.
Yeah,
but I guess they're having some conversation, right? They're in between semesters and they're talking about, when we go back next semester. And Kira was telling them that she actually dropped out and she wants to pursue something different, maybe like photography. And they're kind of like not very supportive.
So this was what brought me back into this movie. Because the dialogue in this movie, the writing, while I was a little skeptical at first, really did improve. And it was when Kira is like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe I'll do photography. I love photography. And Dylan literally said what I was thinking at that point, where he's like, everybody's into photography.
Yeah, and so was the other girl. And she goes, I do photography. Hey, did you see? And then she starts talking to Dylan about the photography that she did the other day or whatever.
Yeah. Totally
dismissing Kira and her decision to drop out, which I thought was pretty rude. But yes, their lines were pretty convincing after this. Well,
then we flash back to...
Well, and they went looking for a Bigfoot theme place.
Well,
This place was like really, really cute.
Because Dylan is our resident Bigfoot expert. So he really wants a sighting.
Yes.
So we kind of now go over to another cabin that's close to this one.
By. Or at least it looks like it.
Yeah, and we see Bobby again after he got denied the loan. And he's talking to...
Oh, no, his brother walks in or he was already in there in a suit.
Yeah.
In a Bigfoot suit. Not a good one.
And this reminded me of, I think it was Catcher in the Rye. I'm not quite 100% sure. But you have your two brothers. You have Bobby, who is like presumably the really intelligent, like devious, kind of cunning, scheming brother.
Well, he's the business manager, basically.
And then we have Clint, who is this hulking, kind of not quite as smart, we'll put it in a different way, kind of guy. He is, but he isn't. But he's like the muscle.
Yes.
And yes.
And he spooked him with a Bigfoot suit that I don't know where he found it, but Bobby was not very thrilled.
Spirit Halloween?
Yeah. Bobby was not very thrilled and like yelling at him, telling him, take it off. What are you doing? This is, don't do that. And Clint basically had it on to pitch an idea to him. Hey, maybe we can make an appearance like this and then we get good reviews. So basically,
Well,
you know,
he was saying we need a sighting.
right.
We need just one sighting, and yeah, we're going to get the reviews, and this is going to help because Bobby wanted to expand. The loan he wanted was to buy
Another land that there was a lot of UFO sightings.
Yeah. So,
But Bobby was not on board with this idea. He's like, nope, we can't do that. Don't ever think about that.
It's too hokey.
Yeah. And so he tells the brother, oh, by the way, you're doing the Bigfoot theme tour tomorrow to those 3 college kids. They're bound to leave us a good review if you do this.
Yeah, and he says, I have some stuff tomorrow. I have a meeting with a realtor, and I have a meeting about the loan.
Mm-hmm.
And Clint asks Bobby, you didn't talk to, and I forget the name of the brothers.
The Bonino's brothers.
Bonini or Bonino brothers, something like that.
Some
you can
Italian
tell
mafia
these
names.
are some shady dudes that you probably shouldn't be asking for money
Right.
from because they're going to break your legs if you don't pay them back. So Clint's worried about this. And
he's been rusty. He hasn't been doing
well, and Clint's like, we shouldn't be expanding. We barely got this started.
But he also feels he feels a little rusty with that storytelling. So Bobby wants him to rehearse telling stories, and they go through all this. Anyway, moving forward.
Well, that's when the college kids decide that they're going to take what is basically essentially Molly.
Oh, yes.
And they're going to put on the music, and they're going to strip down to their underwear, and they're going to dance. And to me, this scene was just... Look, I am all for gratuitous nudity. There was no nudity, so I was a little disappointed. But this scene had no bearing on anything.
Yeah, it was a little long.
It was just an excuse for these kids to be like, look how ripped we are, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And that was about it, you know.
Yeah.
So they're dancing around
they're
all
having
over
fun,
the
they're
place,
drinking.
and
However, Clint again.
Clint decides to be creepy.
Yeah, he's not the smartest. He decided to be a little creep and walks over to the cabin and starts spying on them through the window. And while they were dancing and jumping around like stupid fun kids, Kira actually sees some movement outside the window, and so they get all like, okay, well, you know, maybe we go and put our the headlamps that they left here for us, and we'll do a little Bigfoot hunting. Obviously, Kent is he's
night
gone now.
while they're on Molly. But again, this kind of goes nowhere either.
Yes, it doesn't go anywhere.
Like,
but Clint does hide in the
think
tree.
it establishes that Clint is weird.
It's weird, yeah. And Kira
a tad inappropriate.
Kira already feels like a little because it comes back up later that she felt like they were being watched. And no one wants to feel that way in a Airbnb cabin. So they don't see anything. They go back in and they sleep it off. Next morning, bright and early.
Yep. Clint knocks on the front door and he's like, I'm here to take you on your tour.
Mm-hmm.
So
they'll get ready.
They saddle up.
Over.
Well, and it was established, I think, earlier when they first got to the cabin. There was a note there, and it said that it was going to be about a 4-hour hike.
Yes.
So they gird up their loins, and they're getting ready to go out on this hike. They're just kind of going through the woods and the fields and everything, and Clint's giving his, 30 years ago today. A hiker came out here by himself and was eating beans. And that was literally, but it was supposed to be like that. It was supposed to be wooden. It was supposed to be Clint not being comfortable and like giving a performance.
Right. Oh, he gets better, but in the meantime,
in the meantime,
the kids are like this is lame.
Yeah.
Kind of,
Well, and also in the meantime, Robbie, he goes,
Bobby.
Yeah, Robbie. He is meeting with a realtor, and he takes the money that he got from the Terenzi brothers I forget them. The Terenzi brothers were the brothers in
Bananas,
Killer Clowns from Outer
Pinonos.
Space.
Yeah.
So he gets this money. He has this money from the Terenzi brothers and buys this like ranch kind of property where there's been some UFO sightings. That's neither here nor there, but he's really like amped up that he got this.
Yeah.
So he gets back to their house, decides what the fuck, he's going to dress up like Bigfoot and he's going to go on their tour.
Mm-hmm.
So they're out there in this field and here's Clint and he's like, here is some of the places where there have been the most sightings of Bigfoot.
Yeah.
And
well, there was a little bit of friction at some point because you can tell the guys are like kind of like, this is lame, da da da. And I think Clint kind of got a little bit of that. And he then tries to do a Bigfoot calling. And he does this very loud, weird sound while he puts his hands around his ears and he makes this gurgling
yelling,
sound,
yodeling sound.
And then now he is, because he kind of overhears them talking about Dylan being the Bigfoot expert. And I think Clint wanted to show off. I mean, he did say at some point that they have lived there all their lives. So this is like their woods, right? And I think he felt a little challenged. That's just my opinion. But he now is challenging Dylan. Well, since you're such an expert, why don't you do a Bigfoot call-in? And Dylan doesn't really want to do it, but the other girls are like pressuring him. So he does, and he
peer
looks,
pressure.
He probably felt silly, stupid, but I think it kind of gave Clint a little bit of a boost.
Sense of power.
Yeah, that he was able to make him look like a fool, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they do the Bigfoot call.
Mm-hmm.
And now we hear some rustling in the woods.
Up ahead, yeah.
And up on the ridge at the top of a field, like right on the edge of the forest.
And they're taking pictures.
Yep. We see a flash of, it's not really Bigfoot. It's Bobby in the Bigfoot costume, but just a flash. And of course, Sydney Sweeney D. Reynolds, Kira
has her big camera.
Has her camera. Takes a picture of the camera and then zooms in on it.
And they're all looking because
they're all looking at it. Now, here's the thing. A great man once said, I think the problem with Bigfoot is that Bigfoot is blurry.
I think Bigfoot is blurry. That's the problem.
It's that. So.
Sure.
So, anyway.
Yeah. So, the picture
for all my Mitch
was
Hedberg fans out there.
The picture was a little bit blurry, but they all saw it in real time, and they're looking at the picture and
they were all convinced.
Oh yeah.
That was one of the kind of things I didn't buy in this movie is like, especially Dylan, who's the quote unquote Bigfoot expert. Even if I wasn't a Bigfoot expert, but I was on a Bigfoot tour, and I'm doing air quotes for people who are listening. If I actually saw something go through the woods, my first inclination would be it's a dude dressed in a suit, in a Bigfoot costume. But none of them are like...
would have been to run toward it.
Well, they kind of did.
Well,
they're like, oh, we got to get a better look. But they took
way too long with the whole
they took their sweet-ass time.
Yeah. So at that point, one of the other girl, I forget her name.
Liv.
Liv says to Kira, oh my God, you got to send me that picture. And she says, yeah, I can do that. I can send that to you while we get back to the cabin.
Yep, I can send stuff to my phone. And that's important. That actually does come back later.
Yes. So then they kind of go, and Clint's face, he was kind of like excited, mesmerized, but at the same time, you kind of knew that he knew he had to be his brother, because how else?
Yeah, but So he was very happy too. I think he wasn't as happy that there was a sighting, quote
No.
unquote. I think he was
They-
just really
they were
happy that his
excited.
brother
Oh,
took him seriously.
yeah. Well,
Because-
and that the kids got excited about it.
Yeah. And he was like, this is going to be great for business.
Mm-hmm.
So
Sure.
they get back to the cabin and they're all abuzz, about, oh my God, there was a sighting. Now, again, none of them questions, guys, could it have been a dude in a suit?
Yeah.
Nobody, but they were like, oh my God, this is awesome. We got to post this everywhere.
Well, they're like, and Dylan is saying, well, they're not gonna believe us, but fuck it, like we saw it,
Yeah, we know what we saw.
And that couldn't have been a bear. At some point, she said that. That could not have been a
Yeah.
bear, and da 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 da.
Well, and
In the
and
meantime,
in the meantime, back at their house,
Clint gets to the house.
Clint and Bobby are talking, and Bobby was like, what the fuck? I just decided on a whim to do this. And he was like, this is all we need. We don't
Like-
need a sighting for another 20,
No.
30 years.
Like, we can't
just
do this
needed
again.
a sighting. We can't do this again. I need you. Burn that suit.
And Clint is like, okay, yeah,
Yeah,
you're right.
Clint's all on board.
Mhm.
So everything you think is going okay. And you're starting to wonder, like, okay, now where's
Now
this
what?
going?
Mm-hmm.
And not in a bad way. Like now at this point, I was kind of like, okay, I want to see where this is going.
Yeah. Well, back at the cabin with the kids, Kira wants to go on a very short hike just to see the sunset, and the other two are like, dude,
And
we
take pictures of the sunset
yeah,
because I'm a photographer.
yeah. And the other kids are like, dude, we just went on a 4-hour hike. Like, no.
And she was like, pussies.
Yeah. And so she's like, okay, it's just going to be like 20 minutes tops. So she goes and she stumbled upon another cabin area.
Yeah, well, she's
She had
like
no
up on the
idea.
hill looking out into a clearing,
Mm-hmm.
and it's their cabin. It's
It's
Clint and
yep,
Bobby's
yep.
cabin.
And she happens to see Clint hanging on to the bear suit, the
Bigfoot suit.
Bigfoot.
Bigfoot.
Yes. And about to throw it into a fire pit, and she takes a picture. And she's like, oh, but when she takes a picture, he looks right at her, and she just kind of, oops, and runs back.
So
Right?
right now, at that point, the look that Clint gave her, if I was her, I literally would have said, hey, I'm sorry. Like, I'll delete the picture. I won't tell them. I know you guys are just trying to, you
Yeah.
know, get
Say
a good
something,
get a
not
good
just
review.
run away.
No, but she turned and ran away.
Like, the look
Like,
that he
ha
gave
ha ha ha
her.
ha! I saw you.
Yeah, the look he gave her actually gave me a little bit of a spook.
Well, and he did play. He was a very good physical actor with his
Yeah.
body language.
Yeah, he was
his
very
facial expressions.
stoic, and like the way he always stood was, he was a big dude. You know, not like a big.
He did a good job
Just-
looking intimidating.
Yeah, exactly. So she goes back, and she's like, "You guys are not gonna believe what I just saw," and I took a picture. So she shows them, and they are all like, holy shit, they fucking lied to us. This is a hoax. And
Okay.
not even 5 minutes later. Okay, go ahead.
Well, so this is kind of, again, another problem with this movie for me. Because all of a sudden, Dylan is like, my dad's a lawyer, and we're going to draft up something.
No, that wasn't at that
Oh,
point.
that was after that.
way later.
That was after
way
that.
later. And he had every reason.
He did. That was
he
that
did.
was my bad.
Oops.
The
So,
timing of that
not
was
even
all
5
off.
minutes after she gets there and she shows him the picture, like nothing else happened. There was a strong knock at the door, and Liv goes to open the door, and both brothers just kind of walk in, unannounced, uninvited, and Bobby introduces himself. He says, "Hey, my name is Bobby. I'm glad you guys are enjoying your stay at my cabin." And he seemed very it just seemed very awkward.
Sinister?
And yeah, like dude, what are you doing? Like, you don't you don't do that, kind of thing. But he seemed very authoritarian. You know?
But now, at this point, I do get it because they were like, Bobby was like, look, we know one of you guys took a picture. We know you saw what you saw. Look, we're just trying to make a living here. We're just trying to
It was the tone.
Get a good review.
Yeah.
But he said it. He was very sinister, very intimidating. And he made her delete the picture.
She gets really close to her. He goes, can I see the picture? Can you show me the picture? And she shows him the picture. He is so close, like this. They're kids.
He was looking at her wiener?
No. And she shows him the picture.
Because you were looking at mine there.
And he says, yeah, can you do me a favor? Go ahead and delete that picture. And they're all like kind of like in shock. Like, is this really happening?
So the correct way to go about this would have been, hey, we're sorry you saw what you saw. This is why we were doing it. We're struggling here. Could you just help us out?
Yeah.
Give us a good review. Okay. We tricked you. We lied to you. But come on, you're having a good time.
Having fun,
We're sorry.
Is there
blah,
anything
blah, blah.
we can do to make your stay a better, time?
I don't think Bobby knew that. Bobby was very sleazy.
Yeah, he wasn't very a personal person, I guess.
Yeah. So yeah, he came off as very threatening, was like, delete that picture, yada, yada, yada.
Mm-hmm.
That is when, after they leave, Dylan decides, okay, we're going to get a lawyer involved.
Yeah.
We're going to sue the shit out of these people.
Right.
And when Clint and Bobby get back to their cabin, Clint recalls the conversation that they had when they were in the field, and Kira took the picture where he was like, well, she said she can send that to cell phones. And
so they are now mad.
I'm sure that everybody's got
Yeah.
these pictures.
So while the kids are back in the cabin, kind of drafting away a letter of, I don't even remember.
Well, intent for representation.
Yeah,
and
something
a notice
like
for a legal proceeding.
Yes.
And various bird laws and bird lawyering and
a lot of big law words. Liv says, you know what? I have to go outside. I have to go vape. Because, those damn kids and their vapes. And she's outside vaping and going through her phone. And here comes Clint. Just snatches the phone from her hand and just stomps on it. And now Bobby's not here. It's just Clint.
Clint at this point is dressed in the Bigfoot costume.
Was he?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I forgot.
So Clint has gone bye-bye mentally, I think, at this point. And Clint is just so like blinded by rage.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he smashes her phone, and you kind of said it, and I was thinking of it. I'm like, there is a thing called the cloud.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't think they were thinking about that.
No.
They were panicking at that point.
They thought it was in the phones, like
the files are in the computer.
He makes his way into the cabin, and she's screaming behind him, like, obviously, and he's like, give me your phones, and tries to get everybody's phones. Wackiness ensues.
No, you are not allowed to say that.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to come up with something else.
And they get into an altercation with Dylan. He gets in an altercation with Dylan, and he...
because Dylan gets like a fireplace poker.
Yeah.
And takes
like
the weakest swing ever.
Yeah. And he's like, get away, or get back. And then he tries to hit him because Clint doesn't back down. And Clint pushes him or grabs him and hits him, and he hits the table, falls to the ground, and he
hits
dead.
His head on the table.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know that yet.
Well, we looked at his gash.
Because now I'm
the
just
head
gonna
gash.
let that one
the
go.
head gash.
So at this point, Bobby comes in, and Bobby's got a knife, and he's like, "Nobody move!" And I'm thinking, okay, well, Clint's already got it covered. But they're like, we got to call a friend or a hospital. We got to call an ambulance because our friend. And Bobby goes over and just like puts his hand on his neck, takes his pulse. He's like, yeah, he's dead anyway. So now they're kind of past the point of no return. So they start grabbing everybody and smashing their phones.
Well, not Kira's. Kira refuses to give her phone because she wants to call an ambulance or help or something. And
She needs an ambulance.
Ambulance.
So Kira refuses to give him the phone, and he goes after now Liv, who just kind of freezes. She's just standing there. I'm thinking, run, bitch, run. Well, she doesn't. And we see a shot from outside the cabin of just a silhouette of him grabbing her by the neck. And it's implied, it's the implication that he strangles her. And in the meantime, Kira makes a run for it, and she's out there in the woods. So she doesn't get too far.
No.
Until Clint just kind of heads her off at the pass. Brings her back in and ties her up in a chair and duct tapes her. And now this is where they're coming up with their plan. Robbie...
But before they get to any plans, pancakes.
Oh my God, I forgot about that. Yeah.
So she's
Bobby's going through the pantry and you think he's looking for something. And Clint's like, what are you looking for? And he goes, I got it. Pancakes. And she's
tied up in the chair.
Yeah, and it's a great shot of her at the end of the table, tied up in a chair, and them just sitting there eating stacks of pancakes. Because what happened? They made pancakes.
After it was all over, we took us in the house and served us pancakes.
So I guess it helps them think,
Full belly, yeah.
Yeah. So they finish their pancakes. Now there's a shotgun in the equation. And this is where Bobby starts scheming. And he's like, I was never here. He's telling this to Clint.
Well, they'll go outside.
Yeah.
He's saying this outside.
I was never here. She had a fit of depression.
And they were drinking.
And they were drinking
drugs.
and taking drugs, which he planted in a bowl in there. And she just snapped and killed her friends, and she killed herself. And that's the story, and we're sticking to it. And this is the time you're going to come in and you're going to call the police.
And then
you're going to call me and tell me what happened and all this stuff. So they're getting their story straight. So right now you're thinking, okay, well, how's Kira going to get out of this? You kind of think she's gonna, because she's the protagonist, but you're wondering how. Well, we have a flash to inside a car, and we have our influencer who gave the cabin and the tour a bad review previously going back to the cabin because she left her watch there. So she's with her partner, and they're both pull into the cabin, and they're like, oh, good, somebody's here. Well, her partner walks in, and she sees Kira tied up. And she's like, now, again, I thought she acted really appropriately because she got quiet and she's like, oh shit. And she's like, is anybody else here? And she's like, Now, the first thing I would ask is he in the house? She doesn't ask that. But
I would have turned back to the car and make a phone call.
Well, yeah, I would have run either right back to the car and made a phone call, or at least locked the door and got her untied. But she's now trying to help Kira, and she's trying to get her untied, and here comes Clint in the Bigfoot costume going into the cabin, and our influencer sees this. She goes running in just a couple seconds after, because Clint kills her partner.
Yes. Well, and then in the meantime, Kira was able to get herself
free while Clint was killing her partner.
And this is exactly the time when the other influencer is walking in on this happening, that Kira is ripping the duct tape out of her mouth.
And we've come full circle.
And she's like,
we keep the money
run!
moving.
Now, the influencer that just walked in, all she sees is her partner being killed by Bigfoot, not a man in a suit. Unfortunately, I guess it was too quick for her to realize it wasn't a real creature.
You should just assume it's not, because it's not like this was, what's the guy's face? The makeup artist that I love that did all the movies in the 80s. There's a ton of them. But this was, like I said, a Spirit Halloween costume.
It wasn't a very, But she, I guess, turns around and leaves and ends up at a police station. In the meantime, Kira...
And proceeds to tell the police.
No, she was able to get in the car and go to the police station. Why didn't Kira just go with her?
Yeah. Well, then we wouldn't have the end of the movie.
Yeah.
So
Kira goes
runs
to the woods.
Out in the woods with an axe, finds an axe
and goes to the
because
woods
they were chopping broccoli, and so she had the axe.
Mm-hmm.
And now we get to the police station, and here is this woman telling the police
with a straight face,
Bigfoot killed my partner and did all this, and there's all these other bodies, and the cops like, you're telling me it's Bigfoot. Now, the first thing I would have said would have been, well, if I would have been that person in that situation, I would have said somebody in a Bigfoot costume.
Right.
I wouldn't have even said that. I would have said some dude.
Someone in a costume.
But
period. Just leave it at that.
It's kind of irrelevant. Like, it would have been better if the cops didn't believe her and didn't investigate it.
Yeah.
But the cops go up there like, well, we better get up there.
Yeah.
So it was a guy and his female partner, and they go up to this cabin.
And they know who owns the cabin.
Yeah.
This is like a,
because Clint's, now again, this is some stuff I didn't get either.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of do, I kind of don't, but Clint's standing out on the porch.
Outside of the porch.
And the cops are like, hey, Clint, what's up? And they go in, and they see all these bodies in the cabin.
And the female police officer, she goes outside.
She walks out and kind of walks away, and she's like, I think I'm going to be sick.
Yeah. And she's like, I've never seen something like that.
And the guy comes out and starts kind of questioning Clint.
Well, no, before that, she says to him, well, you better watch out. There is a Bigfoot out there doing all these killings. And you know that she actually knows that he had something to do with it, but doesn't say it right out. And then she says, I am a big fan of Bigfoot. And Clint goes, oh, really? Well, kind of like, maybe they can make a deal there.
Yeah.
Something. But then the other officer comes out.
Yeah, and he's kind of like, don't go anywhere, Clint. We got some shit to talk about. So
the officer is walking ahead of Clinton. Clinton is right behind him.
These have to be the most oblivious police officers ever.
Yeah, because now Clinton reaches into the police's holster weapon, which, seriously.
No situational awareness whatsoever from this officer.
And he shoots him. He shoots the officer down. And the female officer is screaming, and the female officer spotted Kira in the woods, and she's like, come here, do you need help or whatever? But then Clint, right after killing the officer, he shoots at the female officer. Did he kill her?
Well, they get into a little bit of a shootout.
Oh, that's right.
And then Clint kind of disappears, and she goes after him, and you hear a gunshot. Mm-hmm. And then you see Clint walking out from around the back of the cabin. So it's the implication.
It's the implication again. And then Kira is,
So now, okay. You probably had, from when Kira initially got out of the house with the axe till this influencer girl drove to the police station, made her report, the cops come back up, do their little quick investigation, and all this chaos ensues. Maybe 20 minutes to a half an hour has passed. like in the timeline of the movie.
And Kira
And
didn't go
Kira's
anywhere.
still there in the woods. Oh my God. I'd have been halfway to freaking Timbuktu by then. I'd have been gone.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
But she just sticks around. Everybody's
Yeah.
dead. All her friends are dead. She can't
So
help
now-
them.
so
she
now
just sticks
she's-
around.
So now she's running into the woods, and of course, Clint goes right behind, right after her. So now we go into a little bit of a chase through the woods, where Kira keeps either hiding or going this other way. And you see Clint really tracking her down by looking at like the broken leaves.
Well,
and,
he's a
you know,
hunter.
yeah.
He's tracking
Yeah.
her. Yeah.
So eventually they get into a standoff. Standoff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess.
Okay.
Well, he's in the middle of the woods doing his Bigfoot call.
Yeah.
Because again, Clint's going bye-bye.
Mm-hmm.
And
And Kira does fall down and like twists or breaks her ankle, something.
walk it off. Rub some dirt on it and walk it off.
Yeah.
And yeah,
So they finally.
but she comes out of her hiding spot and of
Mhm.
course walks around the corner and Clint's right there. And she's like, okay, let's do this. And she's got her axe.
screaming primal scream at him, and he in turn screams really, really primal scream at her, and they're just like about to
They're about ready to get it on.
yeah, and then we hear
And we hear some twigs cracking in the woods.
and some deep growling.
Yep. And what is
And-
it? It's Bigfoot. Now we don't get a good look at Bigfoot because
Because he's
again,
blurry.
he's blurry.
Hmm.
And
But he's in the background.
so Kira turns and runs, and we just hear a growl, and we hear Clint
And big footsteps.
screaming.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's the implication, there's a lot of implication in this movie. There's the implication that Bigfoot killed Clint. Now Kira has gotten away.
But how did she not get chased by Bigfoot also?
I know. I don't know.
Yeah.
But either way, Kira gets away. We have a happy ending.
That's our movie.
And that's our movie.
Well, I don't know about a happy ending. Just because one person survived, I don't think that's a happy ending.
So
But that is our movie.
my kind of final impressions were this movie. I'm very torn about this movie because it had a really original idea.
Mm-hmm.
There were a shit ton of things that didn't make sense and
Lot of
plot
holes.
in it.
Mhm.
Like, why would anybody do that? Why would anybody do that? You know,
Mm-hmm.
maybe you chalk it up to they're scared, they're in shock. I don't know. But it was really original. I mean, at its core, it was a Bigfoot movie because the concept of Bigfoot played a huge part in the movie. And then we did actually see the Sasquatch at the end for what, about 20 seconds, if that.
Not even.
Yeah. So that was really cool. And I
Yeah.
called that, by the way. I'm like,
did.
you watch Bigfoot's going to
He's
pop
gonna-
out in the woods here and he's going to kill one of them or both of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
No, my final thoughts are very similar. I think the movie had a really good storyline. It wasn't like a huge plot. Oh my God, this was so intricate or anything. It was a simple plot, but it was executed pretty well. It's just that it had a lot of holes, a lot of answers that we also didn't get, and a lot of mistakes that normal people probably wouldn't make. But that's it. That's, we don't know ultimately how many of us will react in similar situations. I think as you grow older, you have more of a backbone to confront. Because if I would have been there, I wouldn't have let them just walk into the cabin to begin with that attitude. I would have been a lot more, defensive about it. But as younger young 20s, you're still
dumb kids.
No, but you're still very much under authority of basically anybody else who looks older than you. But anyway, if you're new here, hello. Welcome. We like to rate our movies on a 0 to 5 rating on 3 different categories, and then we add the totals at the end. Our first category is the plot. What do you say? What's your score?
So, like I kind of said in my recap, I thought the story, the idea for the story and the plot in that kind of area was really original.
Mm-hmm.
I think they did something really original with a Bigfoot movie, because how much can you really do? Tons of holes. I think I'm going to go right down the middle with it and invoke my decimal privileges, and I'm going to give this a 2.5, a 2.5 out of 5 little Molly pills.
Okay. So, I liked the plot. I think it was very original, the way that they used, a theme that has been overused, and that they did something different. I like that, so I will give this a 3 out of 5 Bigfoot costumes. Our next category is acting and directing.
Okay. So the acting was surprisingly solid.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say it was great, but it was solid. It was surprisingly solid. The directing is where I'm also maybe going to throw in the writing and stuff like that. And that's where, again, I'm going to throw in some of the holes again.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the decisions that some of these characters made. I know horror movies are based off of bad decisions, but some of these were just like really unbelievable to where they almost took me out of the movie. As entertained as I was. So again, I'm going to go right down the middle and give it 2.5 little Molly pills.
I thought the acting, all of the college kids to me were pretty good, not excellent, nothing to write home about, but considering they're probably newer actors, I thought they did pretty well. The brothers are a little bit more seasoned, and they did pretty well as well. Directing, I thought it was pretty good. There were some very great scenes, very good directing in my opinion. The holes and all of that, to me, it's more about the plot. So I'm going to give this a 3 out of 5 Bigfoot costumes. Our last category, it's rewatchability.
So rewatchability for me is whether the movie was just either that good or that fun that you want to watch it again, maybe once or twice, a couple times, or there's a lot of layers and you have to rewatch it because you're like, okay, there's stuff that I didn't pick up on in the first viewing. I'm actually going to go a little surprising and give this a kind of a high score for rewatchability because it was a fun movie. Despite all the holes, it was a fun movie. So I'm definitely going to watch it again. And I think this is a good movie if you want to maybe introduce somebody to a movie that's a little more horror themed, because it had some adventure, some horror, some kind of like kidnap,
Suspense.
home invasion kind of stuff like that, suspense. It had a little bit of everything in it. I don't think it did anything particularly well, but it had a lot in it. So I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5 little Molly pills for rewatchability.
I'll probably watch it maybe once. It's not something that I'm going to be watching a lot. I'm going to give it a 2 out of 5 Bigfoot costumes.
Okay, so, well, we actually both gave it an 8.
Oh.
An 8 out of 15, which is not bad. It's an average movie.
Yeah.
It was entertaining.
Entertaining.
I
and-
think what it lacked in some kind of substance and depth at some point, it made up for in just pure entertainment.
Yeah.
It was a fun movie. It did keep me invested.
Yeah.
It pulled me in there. It took a little bit,
Yeah.
and it pulled me in, and it did have me wondering what happened next, and it did have me genuinely engaged.
Mm-hmm.
Even through, because I made comments throughout the movie of like, why the fuck did they do that? Or, oh my God, that was stupid. Or this could have all been avoided if.
Yeah.
But again, I understand this is why we have the movie in the first place.
Yep.
Because if people were smart, half this shit wouldn't have happened.
We wouldn't have this.
And this
many
movie
horror
would have been
movies.
over in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So I get it. So I would recommend it, especially if you're looking to get into horror and you just want something light.
It's
like
mild, yeah.
It's not gory. There's hardly any blood in it. I mean, the most
There
blood
was
we
in the
see is the
kitchen,
blood
yeah.
on Dylan's head.
That was a good makeup. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, but that was about it. It wasn't gory. It wasn't particularly scary, but it was entertaining.
Yeah. I think they did really well with what they had. So now that we're done with that, what time is it?
It's game time. And before we game, we drink.
We drink to you. Thank you for continuing to support us, love us, watch us, or not.
Recommend us to your friends, to your family. Maybe if you have somebody you don't like and you think we suck, recommend us to them and let us torture them for you.
Sometimes I have no idea what's going to come out of his mouth. So,
that's what keeps it refreshing.
And to that, cheers.
Okay. So for our game today, we're going to do something a little different. So I think Bigfoot would be considered an urban legend. We are going to go with a little quiz for you about urban legends. And I'm going to give you a story, and you're going to have to tell me if this is a real urban legend or something that's just made up.
Okay.
Okay? So here we go. I didn't bring my glasses.
Oh, Jesus.
Number 1, the vanishing hitchhiker.
Uh-huh.
Okay? You have to tell me if this is A, real, or B, made up.
Okay.
Okay? So here we go. A driver picks up a mysterious hitchhiker who gives him an address. When the driver arrives, the passenger has mysteriously disappeared, only for the driver to learn the person died years earlier. Is this a real or a made-up urban legend?
Urban legend.
Yes, it is real. The vanishing hitchhiker is one of the world's most famous urban legend traditions.
You said yes, it is real?
Yes.
It is a real urban legend.
Yes.
Okay.
It's
not a real story.
No, correct. That's why I said you have to tell me if it's a real or a made-up urban legend.
Right. Oh.
Not whether it actually happened.
Oh, got it. Yes, I've heard of the vanishing passenger.
Okay.
Or hitchhiker.
Number 2, the red-eyed passenger. A teenager driving home at night sees a person standing behind the road with completely red eyes. When the teenager looks in the rearview mirror, the stranger is suddenly sitting in the back seat. Real or made up?
Made up.
Correct.
Ha.
Made up. This version was invented for the quiz.
Oh.
Although red-eyed stranger stories do exist. Okay, number 3, the hook-handed killer. Okay. A young couple parked at a secluded lover's lane hears scratching against their car. They escape only to discover a hook hanging from the door handle. Real or made up?
I think it's made up because I thought there was a combination of things. I remember the urban legend of having the scratching on the ceiling of the car when there's a couple making out, but I don't remember it being a hook.
Nope, it is real.
Oh, okay.
The hook is a classic American urban legend, especially associated with lovers' lanes. Okay, number 4, the midnight whistler. According to a supposed old legend, hearing 3 whistles outside your house after midnight means that a mysterious spirit has noticed you. Is that real or made up?
Made up.
Correct. The Midnight Whistler story is fiction. You liking this so far?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just fun.
The killer in the back seat. A woman driving alone notices another car repeatedly following her. The driver eventually pulls alongside her and frantically gestures for her to stop. She later discovers she was trying to warn her about someone hiding in her back seat. Real or made up?
Real.
Real, yes. The killer in the back seat is a long-running urban legend with many variations. Okay, let's see. The babysitter and the man upstairs. A babysitter receives threatening phone calls while watching children. Police trace the calls and discover they are coming from inside the house. Real or made up?
Real urban legend.
What's that?
Real.
Yep. The babysitter and the man upstairs is a classic urban legend, which there have been movies about.
Yes, of course.
Okay, the sewer alligator. A family supposedly flushes a baby alligator down the toilet. Years later, enormous alligators are rumored to be living beneath the streets of a major city. Real or made up?
I think that's made up, but also they have made cartoons about this.
No, that's a real urban legend.
Okay.
Sewer alligator stories have circulated for decades,
Oh,
particularly in connection with New York City.
I thought it was made up, but yeah, I've heard about it.
Okay, number 8. There's 10 questions. Number 8. The face in the photograph. A group takes a nightmare photograph in an abandoned building. Oh, nighttime photograph, sorry. In an abandoned building. When the picture is developed, an unfamiliar face appears between them, even though nobody remembers seeing anybody else. Is that real or made up?
Real.
Nope, it's made up. Number 9. The Phantom School Bus. You know, some of these that are made up would actually make pretty cool movies. A town claims that an empty school bus appears on a particular road every year on the anniversary of a fatal accident. Anyone who follows it supposedly disappears before reaching the end of the road. Real or made up?
I'm going to say real.
Nope, it's made up.
Sounds real enough to me.
Okay, last one. If you're playing at home, let us know in the comments how many you heard of or maybe how many you got right. The Black-Eyed Children. Strange children with unusually dark eyes supposedly approach people's homes or cars at night and ask to be invited inside. Real or made up?
Made up.
Nope, real. You suck at this game.
Yeah, I do. Jeez.
Black-Eyed Children became a well-known modern paranormal / urban legend in the late 1990s and 2000s. So,
yeah, I didn't do so well, but anyway.
That's okay. Can't win them all.
No.
Maybe next time you make the game then.
Yeah.
Instead of making me do all the work.
So let us know if you get a chance to watch this movie, what your thoughts are. Did you hate it? Did you like it? Do you want us to continue recommending weird movies? Don't forget, this is free on Tubi. And
yeah, you got to put up with a lot of commercials on Tubi, but it is free.
Yeah. It gives you time to go to the bathroom.
And Tubi has so many good horror movies on it.
And some bad ones too.
Yeah.
But we don't talk about those.
Yep. So, anywho, thank you once again for listening, for watching, for liking, for subscribing, doing all the cool stuff. And I apologize for us being more sober than usual, but hey, it's a school night.
And with that, we are out.